Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Okay, so as I said, so this is very important to know, and this is very important to consider as well. So see, as I said, we are working as a shared responsibility model. So definitely, we do really wanted to make sure that we don't do a misconfiguration on our firewall network or operating system. We use a proper uh, encryptions on data integrity, data at rest, or a travel. We make sure that network traffic encryption has been there, server-side encryption has been maintained, and we have a proper access and identity management things been included, so that we, from our end, we don't lose the string and make things unsecure. Okay, so shared responsibility model, as I said, it's so it's simply that in Amazon is responsible for the security of the cloud, while the customer is responsible for security in the cloud. Okay, so that is what shared responsibility means. So Amazon, security of the cloud, and customer, being a customer, we are responsible for security in the cloud. Okay. You might have a mail where you have an access to an AWS account, but before you, as I said, these accounts will be activated between 2:30 to 4:30. So whatever I'm going to show you on my screen, if you want to really practice on those services, you can do that between that time frame. I'll give you a time on that. But let's talk about the services which we talked about. Like as I said, we have to go for a shared responsibility model. Then definitely from the end of client, or we are the customers or the vendors, sorry, we are the customers or the client or the end user, you can say, we have to make sure that we do a security in the cloud. Okay, and from security point of view in the cloud, we have a very first thing which is called IAM, which is identity and access management. We'll try to learn that what it is, what does AWS CLI console management and all that. So I'll take you to the account which I own, and I'll take you to my account, and I'll show you what console management looks like. Okay, so let me share the screen. So if you own an account, then you can do a login on AWS. There are two ways to do a login. One is you can do a login from a command line. The other is you can do a login from console login, which is from a graphical version or from the web. The web part is called console login, which is also known as AWS Management Console. So just write on the Google AWS Console login, and that will bring you the link over here. Click on that. And then once you're here, you have an account already. So you can click on that. I have an account and I wanted to do a sign in. Wait for seconds and it will take you to the console management screen where you can, where you will do a login. So there are two ways again over here. Are you a root user or IAM user? We'll talk about that, these two users very soon. So, sorry. So I'm a root user, and so I'll enter my email address and do a next. For security reason, I don't want you to see my email address. So I'll just stop sharing, and after a login, I'll share you the screen with. Okay. This is a console, basically. So, sorry, this is a console management screen where you see, let me just maximize this. So you see that your service list, and then here are the set of services which you see on the top. So these are your EC2, Lightsay, Lambda. These are specific to compute. And then these are the storage service. These are the database. These are for the migration, management, governance, media, networking content, developer tools, security and identity and compliance. You have to see or know almost all the services which has been mentioned over here. We have, as I said, 200 plus services. All the services you can't work on. It would be great if you know all the service, but as you know, we are the human being and we cannot know all the services over here. It can take time actually, or needs your experience. But from the point of security and compliance, these are the services we should at least know what these services are and for what purpose they are for here and what they can do. From these security compliance and identity and compliance, we are going to talk about IAM. So first thing first, if you really have an account on AWS, you wanted to do a login, there are two ways you can do it. One is you do it from here, which is called console management, AWS console management screen. You just go Google on a search engine, just type AWS console management, or you can write console.aws.amazon.com. And once you are there, if you're a root user or there are again two type of users. One is the root user. If you are an account owner, you would be a root user. The other is an IAM user. So whichever are you have to select from the you know from the radio button that you are an IAM user. No, you're not the root user. I'll explain what is root user and IAM user. Root user is the one who has created and attached his credit card to the account, and all the billable information is going to send it to that credit card owner or the root account owner. So the root account owner is going to pay for all the services which is be consumed either by him or by the users which comes under root. Okay, so the very important term over here to understand is IAM, because IAM plays a very vital role when we talk about security in the cloud. Okay, so when we talk about AWS, GCP, Azure, or any other vendor you take, identity access management is a very important role which we should know and consider about, because IAM is the one which gives much more, you can say much more exposure to the services which will be consumed. So we'll see the identity access management first, and how does it work, and then slowly we'll move to the other services which has been necessary for from the point of security. Okay, so yes, so first thing, you this is a AWS console, and you can do a login from here. The other part what you can do a login from is, the other thing is that even there are two type of users AWS can have. One is the user who wants to access the services from GUI, graphical user interface, which is when people will come from the AWS management console. There can be users where you have coders, where you have script writers, where you have um,
Hey viewers, are you looking for formal training on SRE practices? Take our SRE program. This course will teach you how to successfully implement site reliability engineering in the modern day 24/7 services. Kickstart your SRE training today. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
you know who like console more over, or who prefer console more over on graphical user interface. So for those type of users, what they can do is they can use a tool called AWS CLI, which is console CLI, where with the help of which there are some set of commands in the AWS CLI which can be used to do a login. Okay, so if you are a Windows user or a Mac user or a Linux user, whichever user you are, I recommend highly to install AWS CLI. You just go on Google and write AWS CLI install, okay, and then there will be a steps to install it, and it's a complete document of AWS. So just follow the steps and install it on your system. And once it's been installed, you just write AWS minus minus version, and that will give you that which version you have been installed. So we have a version 2, please install it. So here's a link. I'll just copy that link and paste it on, okay, where is that? on. Okay, so I'll just paste that link on the chat box for everyone. Okay, go through it, download version 2. Okay, and to install it, I highly prefer to use Linux. If you are having a virtual machine of Kali, then I would recommend you to install this AWS CLI on your Kali Linux. If you don't have a Kali, you have a Windows. If you have a Windows, then it's also okay that you use it over there. But on Windows, we have a different way of working, right? So I would recommend that even if you don't have today you don't have a Linux, then please try to bring it tomorrow, because we are going to see some major commands or working of the exploitation, which I highly recommend to work as into a Mac or a Linux user. So if you have Windows, that's great for now today. Do install that. I've given you a link on the chat box. Do install AWS CLI, and I'll give you 5 minutes for that because it's gonna take not gonna take much more than 5 minutes. Install it, everyone. If you are facing issues, do let me know. It's very simple steps you have to follow. Install it on your machine. I'll give you 5 minutes. So it's right now 12:13. I'll speak up again at 12:18. I'm just listening you out over here. You have any questions during the time of installation, do let me know, but do install it because we are going to use it very oftenly in our labs.
Vasan, if we are using in Windows, the commands will be differ or will be the same?
For AWS CLI, the commands will be similar. But when we are
Okay.
actually performing the attack, right? So there might be difference, but I believe most of the time it will be similar.
Okay.
Vasant, does it need administrative privileges on the system to install this?
Okay. I believe
We do
it.
not have it on our corporate laptops.
Okay. Do you have a virtual machine instead?
No, we don't have any third-party softwares other than what the base image has for our the base corporate image.
So what is the process to get it installed on your machines? Do
I
it has to
think
come from
that's
the
going
IT?
to be a long process because we need to raise requests and get it approved, and then the IT team contacts us, and then it is going to take time. It will not happen in 1 or 2 days.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So will it be possible for you guys to join from your company, not from your company laptop, but from some other, or it's been mandatory that you join it from your company laptop?
I mean, in my case, I don't have any other laptop, so I have no other options. I'm not sure about others.
Okay. So if you are,
Oh,
if you, yeah.
sorry. So some of us have access to the private lab, what we have, which have direct uh, connect to internet. So I think 5 of us can join, but rest I'm not too sure.
Mm-hmm. Or what I will do is like I'll request the Spring people to give you a virtual machine of Linux. If you can you go outside and can connect with the your traffic allows you to connect with the virtual machines. Like, can you connect with Hyper-V machines from your laptop?
Vasant, uh,
Yeah.
yeah, anyway, you will download that and show it to us, right? I mean, for the people who really don't want to install and work on the labs, but you will be showing us, right? On the
Yes,
screen?
I will be. Yeah, I'll be showing
Oh,
you on the screen.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, just in case you wanted to follow up and you want to do it from your end, that's what I am saying, that you can install it. But in case you wanted to go through with my screen, then you can look into it, and later on you can install it. But yeah, it for Windows it might can need a administrative access, because it's going to copy the files in C drive for further use. But you can give it a try and let me know if it's really required an administrative access. Then we'll try to figure it out in the next section. Anyone can speak up.
Yes, it's asking for admin privileges, but
Okay.
few of us can install it.
So it is asking for administrative privilege. All right. So nothing to worry about. I'll have a talk with Spring People to give you guys a virtual machine so that you can connect to that machine, and then you can have it. Okay. Give me a second. But do copy the link which has been shared with you guys if you really want to install it. Okay. So as I said, we have two options to do a login on AWS. One is through the GUI interface, which you can go and from here you just write console.amazon.com, and then you write your username and password and enter to the console. The other one is you have a CLI option where you have to install this AWS CLI, so that from the command prompt you can actually log into an AWS and can do this stuff. Okay. So if you really wanted to use from the AWS CLI, I'll take you that part as well once it's been installed. Okay, if in your system. If it not, as I said, we'll try to figure it out, that what we can do from the lab point of view. Okay. So one thing we saw that we can do a login from console, but how do we do a login from AWS CLI? I'll take you there.
Hey viewers, our Mastery in DevOps engineering program can help you to hone the skills necessary to succeed in high-level DevOps positions. So what are you waiting for? Enroll now and earn certification that show you are keeping pace with today's technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
So what I'm going to do is right now I am going to go to IAM over here. Okay, and then we have users over here. Okay, I have some set of users over here. I'm going to delete all of them. Okay, so let me just say yes, delete them. Cool. So I have one user which named as this Raccoon admin, and who is an administrator. Over here you can see there's a policy attached to it. I'll come back to that. So don't worry about what policies and what things are. So I've created a user on this, okay, which is named as Raccoon admin. As being a root user, I can create as many user I want on my account, okay, and give them permission of what they can do. For now, think that I have added a user where I have given him a permission of administrative access, like a full access on this account. Okay. Now this particular user can do a login to my account through console or through AWS CLI. But while we add the user, we decide, we decide that how the user is going to do a login. He's going to do a login from console, or he's going to do a login from AWS CLI. We will configure AWS CLI very soon. I'll show you how with the virtual machine. But let's talk about IAM, which is Identity and Access Management. What is it? Okay. So in AWS, we have IAM, Identity and Access Management. As I said, some part of security we have to take care of, and some part of security AWS will take care of. So some part of AWS security will be taken care is like AWS will take care of security of the cloud. And as I said, we will be taking care of security in the cloud. IAM is a very important term. And in IAM, we provide access to the services, right? You see, AWS or all cloud vendors are nothing but they gives you a set of services. So you have services over here. You see compute services, you have storage services, you have blockchain, you have satellite, and lots of rest of other services you have, right? So in IAM, we create users, and on the users, we give them access that, hey, this is the user I've created, and I'm giving you this access. So that particular person will have the access of that particular service, which will give it access of. Okay. So right now you see there is a raccoon and admin who I have given an access of administrator. So if this person does a login, he will have a complete access of all the services. Okay, that's why this administrative access policy has been attached. So let's come back to users first, and let's see how users been added. Okay, so you click on add user. Okay, we maintain all the users in our IAM over here, and that actually maintains the accessibility of your account. Okay, so click on add user, and over here you give a username, any username. Okay, so let's say Sony day one. I created this user, and over when we create a user, there are two options. Do you want them to give a programmatic access, or do you want them to give a management console access? So if you say I'm going to give them a management console access, it's going to generate an automated password for you. And if you want to have a custom password, you can have a custom password too. So on day one, like whatever user you will add, you'll give him a programmatic or management console. So if you give a programmatic access, the person will be able to log in from the person will not be able to log in from the console. The person has to do a login from the AWS CLI. So when we create a user, we have a two type access type, whether you want the user to be using the console like the services from GUI, or you want him to access it from the programmatic. So if you choose a programmatic access, then there will be two things will be created. One is called access key and the other is secret key, which will be created. But if you give them a console a programmatic access, then there will be a password created. I'll create that for both, like we'll create two users over here. So Sony day one, and this time I'm going to say GUI. Okay, so AWS console management access, and then next permission. And on the permission, you will have to set a that what type of permission they can have. Okay, so you can attach permission from a group, you can have permissions from existing user, or you can attach policies. Policies are very important again over here. They plays a very vital role because in the policy, it's been completely written that what type of access a user can perform. Okay, so creating a user is not enough. We have to describe the accessibility. Okay, what access he can perform or what access she can perform. So we have to give it the access, and accessibility is completely derived from the policies. The box you see over here describes that these are all the policies which are created previously by Amazon and being managed by Amazon as well. So you see the type over here, it's been saying that it's a AWS managed policy, right? Okay, these are like complete AWS managed, AWS managed, AWS managed. So the policy which has been already created by AWS and been managed by AWS is been, they call them AWS managed policy. Okay, this been properly created and managed by AWS. Okay, these are called AWS managed policy. But there is a way that you can create your own policy, and in that particular policy you can define whatever access you wanted to give it to that particular user. If you want to create your own custom policy, you'll create a policy. You will click this create policy button to create a policy, and you will select the permission boundary for that particular user. Okay, so if you are okay with the managed policy, or you think that these are the access which I wanted to give it, you can give it over here. So for example, I wanted to give S3 read-only permission. So I'll give this user an access that this user can do read-only for this access. Okay, and now you see that when I type this thing, I got two policies. One is called AWS S3 AWS managed. The other is called customer managed. That means this particular policy has been created by a customer, like by me, and is completely managed by me. I can delete it, destroy it anytime I want. AWS managed policies has not been created by me and not been managed by me, so I cannot delete them. Okay, we'll talk about policy much more better uh, in the coming minutes. But let's see how we create a user. And for this user, Sony day one GUI, I'm giving him an access of read only, and that too on the S3 service. Okay, simple storage. S3 is a storage service. Think it like a you have a Google Drive, okay, where you can upload anything. All right, think it like that. So Amazon S3 read only access, I have selected that, and then we go to next tags. Here you can give a tag. Tags are basically not mandatory, but they are optional things. Let's suppose you wanted to later on know which service is costing you what and why you have created them to remind you for that, right? So for this purpose, you can have a tags. It's all completely optional. You can you don't want to create it, you can click on next review and create your user. But I really wanted to track down what service is costing me which user I have created, because I want to track that down. So I'll say that this is I generally take care of from the organization. So org, I would say Sony, and then next review. So it's going to create Sony day one and will be from the AWS Management Console access with the password, which will be auto-generated, and you would need to reset the password once the time when you do a login. Very first time whenever user does a login, he has to reset the password. Okay, and permission boundary is not set for now. So that's all. I have managed policy, and this is another IAM user change password policy, which attach automatically when you create a your management user on GUI. Like when you create a AWS Management Console user, it will be created automatically. The reason this has been attached automatically because this particular policy allows a user to do a change on the password which has been generated automatically. Okay, so now we have a user and we have an auto generated, and then there's a yes. Okay, and then we click on create user. Okay, once you click on create user, wait for some period of time, and once it's been created, it will show you password. Okay, you have a password over here. So I'll just copy this password on a chat box. And also I'll copy the username, that is Sony underscore D1 underscore GUI. Okay, so for everyone we have a user now, and okay, now what you guys can try for doing is
Hey viewers, trying to get into DevSecOps? Enroll for our DevSecOps certified professional programs and earn the certification that shows you are fit for these technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
Okay, so here I have given you the access of username and password. Now, what needs to be done is, while you wanted to do a sign in, okay, you let me just log out and do a sign in on this, but let me copy this also and give it to you guys. You need my account ID, okay, while you do a login from console. Okay, so everyone has a username, and everyone has a password. Don't change the password for now, because once you try to do a login, you have to change the password. I'm going to show you that. So hold your horses and let me take you to that part. Okay, so how does it? Okay, so I'll just do a log out here now for a time. So let's just sign out. Wait for some seconds. And then click on sign in again. I have an account and I want to do a sign in. And here it says root user or IAM user. I will say I am an IAM user. Then it will ask for you the account ID. The account ID has been completely given on on the chat box. So here is the account ID which I own. And then we go next. Okay, it's gonna ask you what's the username. So I'm gonna give the username as this. And the password is the one which I have copied. So mine is at the end. Sign in. Oh, I do have that. Wrong password. So once you do a sign in, it will take you to say that, hey, you have an auto-generated password. You have to change the password. So I'm just gonna change that. So okay, and then oh, we have to type the old password here first.
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.